Welcome, everyone, to our deep dive today. We'll be tackling the very intriguing world of time management.
Ooh, fascinating.
But specifically,
Right?
we're going to zero in on how we can all make the most of those 168 hours we get every single week.
Love that.
We've gathered a really fascinating mix of sources to dig into, from personal stories and expert opinions,
Wow.
to even taking a peek into the routines of those super high achievers out there.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about that.
Think of this deep dive as a sort of customized guide
Okay.
designed to help you, the listener, uncover all those hidden pockets of time in your week.
Oh, hidden pockets of time. Like, that
Yeah.
sounds great. I could use some of those.
Exactly.
So many people I know are just constantly
Right.
feeling busy, overwhelmed, like they're just drowning in to-dos.
Yeah.
You know, that feeling of time poverty.
Oh, time poverty. Yeah, I've definitely felt that.
It's so real.
But here's a question for you.
Okay.
Could this whole time poverty thing actually be more about our perception than reality?
You know, that's a really interesting question because,
Yeah.
when you look at the sociological research out there,
Okay.
it kind of hints that we might be overestimating all those hours we're putting in at work.
Really?
And on the flip side, underestimating the leisure time we actually have.
Interesting.
For example, one study I came across
Yeah.
found that people consistently over-reported the hours they were working
Mm.
by like 5 to 10% on average.
Wow, that's actually a pretty significant difference.
It is.
But then how do you explain people like, you know, Datner?
Dater.
Yeah, successful career,
Okay.
big family,
Right.
still finds time for hiking, reading.
She sounds like she has it all figured out.
Right.
So, Daytner, like a lot of those successful folks,
Yeah.
they're really strategic about focusing on their what we call core competencies.
Okay, core competencies. What does that actually mean?
Basically, it's about honing in on those activities you truly excel at, the
Yeah.
things you find genuinely fulfilling, and then outsourcing or minimizing all those other less essential tasks.
Got it.
That way, you're freeing up your time and energy
Right.
for the things that truly matter to you.
So we should be applying this core competency thing to not just our work lives, but our
Yeah.
personal lives as well.
Absolutely, because
Okay.
identifying those core competencies, it's like a crucial step
Okay.
in designing a life that's truly fulfilling,
Makes sense.
both personally and professionally.
All right.
The key is figuring out what truly energizes you, engages you,
I see.
allows you to get into that state of flow.
This reminds me of that story about the Nobel Prize winning chemist
Oh, yes.
who later in life, like much later,
Right.
discovered this newfound passion for poetry.
It's amazing how life can surprise you like that.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you that those core competencies,
Yeah.
they can evolve, right?
Absolutely.
Over time.
Totally.
Which is why I think it's so important to,
Yeah.
stay open to trying new things, uncovering hidden talents.
Absolutely. Embrace that growth mindset.
Yes.
Recognizing that our interests and abilities,
Right.
they can change, they can expand
Yeah.
as we journey through life.
So true. So true.
And, sometimes venturing out of that comfort zone
Oh, yeah,
leads to the most surprising discoveries about ourselves.
for sure.
It's exciting.
So now let's maybe turn our attention to the workplace.
Okay. The workplace.
The place that often eats up a good chunk of our 168 hours
It does, doesn't it?
is choosing the right job, the right profession.
Hmm.
Really that crucial for overall life satisfaction.
I'd say absolutely,
Right.
because tons of studies have shown this really strong link between how satisfied you are with your job and your overall well-being.
Doubly it.
Like, settling for a job you hate just for the money
Right. Yeah.
can actually end up backfiring on you.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's a recipe for unhappiness.
It reminds me of the story of that teacher
Oh, yeah.
who left teaching to go into sales
Okay.
for more money.
Right, right.
And he was just miserable.
Oh, that's so sad.
Ended up going back to teaching.
Good for him, following his passion.
Yeah. And, his story really highlights
Yeah,
that work should be more than just a paycheck.
totally.
When your job actually aligns with your core competencies
Yes.
and gives you a sense of purpose, it contributes so much to your overall happiness.
It's like finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
where your skills and passions meet a real need in the world.
I love that. So how can our listeners actually figure out if their current jobs,
That's a great question.
align with their core competencies?
It takes some real soul searching
Yeah.
and a willingness to be honest with yourself.
Right.
Ask yourself, what do I actually enjoy at work? What energizes me?
Right.
What makes me feel drained?
Right.
Once you've nailed down those areas, think
Yeah.
about how you can really leverage them to create a more fulfilling experience at work.
I see.
Maybe it means seeking out new opportunities
Okay.
within your current company.
Right.
Or maybe it's time to explore a whole new career path.
Yeah.
The key is to be proactive
Yeah.
and intentional about shaping your work life.
Okay.
So it truly reflects your core competencies and aspirations.
So we've explored the workplace, but now I'm curious
Yeah.
about the home front.
Ah, yes.
How can we really maximize that precious time we have
Right.
with family and for ourselves?
It's a balancing act for sure.
Right. Is that elusive work-life balance even attainable?
Well, it's definitely a challenge, but I think it's possible.
Okay.
It's interesting, though. Housework standards have actually gone down quite a bit over the decades,
Oh, really?
which has, freed up time for parents to focus on other things.
Like their kids?
Exactly, like spending quality time with their children.
That's great.
It's a shift in priorities.
I found personally that outsourcing certain tasks, like laundry,
Oh, laundry. I hate laundry.
has been a game changer.
I bet.
It might seem small,
Yeah.
but having those extra hours to do more enriching things with my family
Yeah.
has made a huge difference in my well-being.
Totally agree. Even those seemingly small tasks,
Right.
when you delegate them, it frees up so much mental energy
For sure.
for things that really matter.
So this brings us to this idea of building a home team.
Oh, a home team. I like that.
Yeah, to help manage those household responsibilities.
Okay, so what does that actually look like in practice?
Yeah, and is it realistic for people who might not have a ton of resources?
Great questions.
Yeah.
Basically, it's about creating this network
Okay.
of people or services that can assist you with all those household tasks.
Right.
So you can focus on your core competencies at home,
Okay.
whether that's spending quality time with loved ones,
Mhm.
pursuing a hobby,
Mhm.
or just simply relaxing and recharging.
So this home team
Mm-hmm.
could include things like
Oh, absolutely.
meal delivery services,
Good
house
side.
cleaners.
Yep. Even virtual assistants,
Ooh, I like that.
to help with schedules and errands.
So many options.
There really are, and they don't have to break the bank.
Yeah, that's good to know.
It's about finding what works for your specific needs and budget.
Yeah, being strategic about it.
Exactly. Think of time as this valuable resource
Right.
and make conscious choices about how you invest it.
Makes sense. So speaking of investing time wisely,
Yes.
let's talk about leisure time.
Leisure time. Oh, I love leisure time.
Me too, but it's not just about vegging out in front of the TV, right?
No, definitely not.
It's about those activities that help us grow and feel fulfilled.
Absolutely. It's about being intentional with your downtime and
Yeah.
choosing activities that align with what you truly care about.
It's funny, though, because studies have shown
Yeah.
that people spend a ton of time each week just passively consuming entertainment.
Oh, I know. TV can be a real-time suck.
It's true. I'm guilty of it too sometimes.
Me too.
Mindlessly scrolling, binge watching,
It's easy to fall into that trap.
when I could be doing something way more enriching.
Absolutely.
It's a common trap.
It is.
But the key is to,
Yeah.
be mindful of those habits
Right.
and actively look for activities
Mm-hmm.
that bring us real joy.
Yes. Things that make you feel alive.
So whether it's reading, pursuing a creative hobby,
Love that.
connecting with nature, having deep conversations,
All great options.
there are so many ways to spend our free time in a way that
Yeah.
truly nourishes us.
Absolutely.
For example, I've found so much joy and fulfillment
Oh, tell me about it.
through choral singing.
Oh, wow. How wonderful.
It's become this essential part of my life,
That is beautiful.
and it brings me a sense of connection and creative expression that I wouldn't trade for anything.
That's so inspiring to hear.
It's about finding those things that resonate with us and make us feel truly alive.
I couldn't agree more.
But how do we find the time for all this?
The million-dollar question.
With our crazy schedules? Are there any practical strategies?
I think one really effective technique
Okay.
is to create what's called a block schedule.
Okay, a block schedule. What's that?
It's where you dedicate specific chunks of time
Okay,
to certain activities
got it.
instead of just leaving it all to chance.
That makes sense. I've actually found block scheduling to be super helpful in the past,
Oh, really?
especially when things were chaotic.
Yeah.
It helped me prioritize and make sure I was making time for the things that mattered most.
It's all about structure and intentionality.
Exactly.
By setting aside specific blocks of time for work, family, personal things,
Yeah.
even rest,
Right.
you ensure you're giving attention to all areas of your life.
I love that.
in a balanced way.
It's about taking control of your time
Exactly.
instead of letting it control you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
But even with the best planning,
Yeah.
there will always be those little pockets of free time that pop up,
Oh, for sure.
throughout the week.
Yeah.
What do we do with those?
Those are precious.
Should we just let them slip away?
Absolutely not.
Or is there a way to actually use them effectively?
Those little bits of time, as you call them,
Yeah.
they can be incredibly valuable.
Okay.
Don't let them slip away.
Right.
We can turn them into bits of joy.
Bits of joy.
I like that. It's all about engaging in those activities that give you little bursts of happiness or relaxation.
Okay, so what are some examples?
Oh, there's so many.
Give us some concrete ideas.
Think about activities that fit into those short intervals,
Right.
like reading a few pages of a good book,
Okay.
listening to an inspiring podcast,
Mm-hmm.
jotting down your thoughts in a journal,
Allocate.
trying out a language learning app, or even just taking a few deep breaths,
Right.
appreciating the present moment.
Those are all great ideas.
It's the little things, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, it really is.
These small acts of self-care,
Yeah.
they can really add up,
I believe that.
boost your mood,
Yeah.
and enhance your overall well-being.
It's amazing how those bits of joy
Yeah,
can make a real difference.
they can.
It's all about shifting our perspective
Exactly.
and realizing the potential that exists in every moment.
Every single one.
Now, this concept of time makeovers, I'm intrigued.
Oh, me too. Tell me more.
So, a time makeover involves really looking at your schedule
Okay,
and finding ways to optimize how you're using your time.
I like it.
It's about making sure your activities align with your priorities
Makes sense.
and being intentional about how you invest your most valuable resource, your time.
So do you have any examples?
Yes,
Oh, good.
we're actually going to delve into the time makeovers of two individuals
Okay,
in the next part of our deep dive.
perfect.
One is Catherine Murphy. She's a pregnant marketing executive
Wow, busy lady.
who's juggling, work, motherhood, personal well-being.
It's a lot.
And then we have Brian Brandt,
Brian Brandt.
who's both a pastor and an entrepreneur.
Oh, wow. Dual roles.
So he's got the demands of those two very different worlds to balance.
I can't wait to hear their stories.
Their stories are so insightful and inspiring.
I bet.
But first,
Yes.
a quick message from our sponsor.
Welcome back to our exploration of really mastering those 168 hours.
So are you ready to dive into these time makeovers?
Oh, I'm so ready.
We've got two really compelling stories to share today.
Can't wait.
Each one offers some unique insights
Okay.
and strategies for optimizing your time.
I love hearing about these real-life transformations.
You too.
It's so powerful to see how even small changes
Right.
can lead to big improvements in our everyday lives.
So let's start with Catherine Murphy.
Catherine Murphy. Okay.
She's a pregnant marketing executive
Oh, busy already.
who's expertly juggling
Right.
the demands of her career,
Yeah.
motherhood, and her own well-being.
That's a lot on her plate.
She actually kept a very detailed time log for an entire week,
Oh, interesting.
which gave us amazing data on her routines and priorities.
I love that she tracked her time.
Yeah,
It's the first step to figuring out
right.
where you can make improvements.
Exactly. So her log revealed this jam-packed schedule filled with work meetings, exercise sessions.
Good for her keeping active.
Yeah.
Especially while pregnant.
Right. And then those precious moments with her daughter.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's inspiring to see her prioritize those things.
It really is.
Even with everything else going on.
It shows how committed she is to a healthy lifestyle,
Yeah.
even when life gets busy.
For sure.
Yeah.
But her log also revealed
What's that?
a desire for more quality time with her daughter
Oh.
and a longing to start cooking again.
I can relate to that.
She felt torn
Yeah.
between all her responsibilities
It's tough to find that balance.
and wished she had more time for those things.
So many parents feel that way.
Yeah, one thing that jumped out at us
Yeah?
from her time log
Okay.
was this tendency to multitask.
Ah, the multitasking trap.
Right? Like checking emails while playing with her daughter
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
or scrolling through social media during work breaks.
It's so tempting.
I know it might seem efficient,
Right.
but studies show
Yeah,
it actually makes us less effective
that's right.
and less happy.
We end up sacrificing quality for quantity
Exactly.
and feeling drained in the end.
So one of the things we suggested to Catherine
Okay, what's that?
was to create dedicated blocks of time,
Okay.
especially for those special moments with her daughter.
That's a great idea. Uninterrupted time.
Yeah, those moments don't have to be elaborate.
Right.
Even just reading a book together
Yeah.
or having breakfast without distractions
Simple but powerful.
can make all the difference.
I agree.
We also encouraged her to use her commute time more intentionally.
Oh, that's a good one.
Instead of letting her mind wander,
Right.
she could use those walks to and from work
Yeah.
for mindfulness practices,
Okay.
like gratitude exercises,
I love that.
or visualizing her goals.
Turning those transitions into opportunities.
Right, it's about being mindful,
Yeah.
even during those in-between moments.
Love it.
And then for her cooking aspirations,
Oh, okay.
we suggested meal prepping.
Oh, meal prepping. That's a game changer.
Right.
It can really save you so much time and stress.
By cooking in batches
Yeah.
or using convenient ingredients,
Right.
she could make cooking more enjoyable.
It's all about making those healthy habits sustainable.
Exactly.
So did she find our suggestions helpful?
She did. Catherine was so enthusiastic
Oh, good.
and reported feeling more energized,
Fantastic.
more focused,
That's great.
and more connected with her daughter.
I love to hear that.
She actually started carving out dedicated morning time
Wow.
with her daughter
That's awesome.
for activities like cooking and reading.
That's so special.
And she even started those mindful walks during her commute.
Good for her.
So those transitions became moments of reflection and gratitude.
Good for her.
So those transitions became moments of reflection and gratitude.
Hi.
It's amazing how small changes can lead to such big results.
It really is.
So now let's move on to Brian Brandt.
Brian Brandt. Okay.
He's the pastor and entrepreneur we mentioned earlier.
Right. Juggling those two roles.
His time log was really interesting.
I bet.
It showed his deep commitment to both his spiritual calling
Okay.
and his entrepreneurial endeavors.
Wow. That's a lot to balance.
He wants to serve his community
Mm-hmm.
and pursue his passions.
That's admirable.
And he actually manages to incorporate fitness,
Okay.
family time,
Great.
and maintain a fairly healthy work-life balance.
He's got a lot going on, but it sounds like he's doing a good job managing it all.
It's inspiring to see.
It is.
But his log also revealed
Oh, what's that?
that distractions were creeping in
Oh, distractions. Those are the worst.
and diminishing his experience.
In what way?
Well, he would often try to multitask,
There's that multitasking trap again.
like trying to engage with his wife
Okay.
while also checking emails
Oh,
or scrolling through social media.
it's so easy to get sucked in.
I know, it can lead to miscommunication
Absolutely.
and disconnection.
Especially with loved ones.
Right. So we suggested that he really minimize those distractions
It makes sense.
and create dedicated periods for focused attention,
Right, being fully present.
especially when he's with his family.
It's so important.
We also encouraged him
Yeah.
to set aside time for prayer and reflection.
Oh, that's crucial for spiritual well-being.
And these practices don't have to be elaborate.
Right.
They can be woven into everyday moments,
Give me some examples.
like using shower time for prayer,
Okay.
gratitude affirmations during your commute,
I like that.
or even just mindful breathing exercises at work.
Those are all great ideas.
It's about finding those pockets of stillness
Yeah,
amidst the chaos
I love that.
and connecting with yourself
Absolutely.
and your spiritual source.
Beautifully said.
Now, with his entrepreneurial pursuits,
Yeah.
there were some unique challenges there too.
I bet juggling two demanding roles can be tough.
It can lead to a lot of context switching,
Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
making it hard to fully focus on either one.
It's like your brain is constantly shifting gears.
Exactly. So we suggested creating distinct blocks of time
Okay.
for each role.
That makes sense, creating that separation.
Yeah, to minimize the mental strain of constantly switching back and forth.
So, like, certain days for church activities and
Right.
others for business stuff.
Exactly.
I like that.
And we also emphasized the importance of strategic thinking time.
Oh, strategic thinking time. Tell me more.
Setting aside time
Oh.
for brainstorming,
Mm-hmm.
problem solving,
Yeah.
envisioning long-term goals.
It's about stepping back from the day-to-day
Right.
to focus on the big picture.
Exactly.
That's so important for clarity and intention.
It helps ensure your actions are aligned with your values.
So true.
So what happened with Brian's time makeover?
Yeah, did he see any results?
He did. He reported feeling much more balanced and fulfilled
That's wonderful.
in both his personal and professional life.
By implementing those strategies,
Yeah.
he was able to create more time for his family,
Mm-hmm.
his spiritual practice,
Right.
and his business.
And that led to increased productivity,
Oh, hi.
reduced stress,
Good.
and a deeper sense of purpose.
Wow, that's amazing.
Brian's story really shows us
Yeah.
the power of intentionality,
Right.
focus,
Yeah.
and creating a schedule that reflects our true priorities.
I love that.
It's a powerful reminder that we can shape our 168 hours
We have the power.
to create a life that aligns with our values.
And aspirations.
So before we move on to the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
where we'll distill 10 key takeaways
10 key takeaways. I'm ready.
from our exploration of time management,
Can't wait.
we're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsor. And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into really mastering those 168 hours.
I'm excited for this.
We've covered so much ground today.
We-
From time poverty and core competencies
Right.
to optimizing our time both at work and at home.
It's been a whirlwind of information.
But now it's time to bring it all together.
Okay, love it.
We're going to distill all those valuable insights into 10 key takeaways
10. Wow.
you can actually use in your own life.
I'm ready to take notes.
So are you ready to unlock the full potential of your time?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, takeaway number 1. Challenge that assumption of time poverty.
Oh, time poverty. Yeah.
Remember, you probably have more time than you think.
It's all about perspective.
It's true. It's about how we choose to use those precious hours.
Makes sense.
Takeaway number 2.
Yeah.
Discover your core competencies.
Core competencies. Yes.
Those things that light you up and make you
Yeah.
feel truly alive.
I like that.
What are you naturally good at?
Yeah. What are your strengths?
What tasks energize you?
What makes you feel like you're in the zone?
That's where the magic happens.
It does.
Takeaway number 3. Don't stay stuck in a job that makes you miserable.
Oh, absolutely not.
Life's too short for that.
It is.
Find work that aligns with your core competencies.
Oh,
Work that gives you a sense of purpose.
and fulfillment.
It's not just about a paycheck.
No, it's about contributing your unique gifts to the world.
Exactly.
I love that.
Takeaway number 4. Let go of those unrealistic housework standards.
Oh, yes, please.
It's okay if your house isn't perfect.
It really is.
Focus on quality time with your loved ones
Okay.
and activities that nourish your soul.
Rather than stressing over a spotless house.
Exactly.
I can get behind that.
Takeaway number 5. Build your home team.
The home team. I love that concept.
It's your support system for those household tasks.
Right.
Delegate, outsource, reclaim your time.
So we can focus on the important stuff,
Precisely.
like family and personal growth.
There are so many affordable options out there.
There are.
Whether it's meal delivery, house cleaning,
Virtual assistants.
find what works for you.
Create a team that supports your lifestyle.
Takeaway number 6. Create that block schedule.
Block schedule. Yes.
Make sure those activities that bring you joy
Okay.
have a dedicated spot in your week.
Like exercise, family time, hobbies.
Be proactive with your time.
Don't let it slip away.
Take control.
I'm all about that.
Takeaway number 7. Those bits of time, turn them into bits of joy.
Oh, the bits of joy, those little moments.
Use them for activities that bring you a quick boost of happiness
Okay.
or relaxation.
Like reading, listening to a podcast, taking a few deep breaths.
It's about making those small moments count.
Absolutely.
Takeaway number 8. Give yourself a time makeover.
A time makeover. Ooh, I like that.
Analyze your schedule. See where you can
And
optimize.
find those areas for improvement.
What can you streamline, delegate, or even eliminate?
It's like spring cleaning for your schedule.
I love that analogy.
It's about being intentional with how we spend our time.
Takeaway number 9. Remember, you're the architect of your 168 hours.
We have the power.
You shape your schedule, you create the life you want.
It's empowering to think about it that way.
And finally, takeaway number 10. Celebrate the journey.
Celebrate, yes.
Mastering your time is an ongoing process.
It's about experimenting and finding what works best for you.
Be patient, learn, and enjoy the ride.
I'm ready to embrace the journey.
And that wraps up our deep dive into mastering those 168 hours.
Wow, that was insightful.
We hope you've gained some valuable knowledge
I know I have.
and practical tools to make the most of your time.
Time is precious.
It truly is, so invest it wisely.
Until next time, everyone.
We hope you have a wonderful week filled with purpose and joy.